Next up in line we have Muhammad Al-Attar, who is a Palestinian Canadian, and he is a social activist slash YouTuber, and he is an accountant by day and a YouTuber by night. He goes by the name The Muslim Guy. He talks about social, religious, and political issues, mainly facing Muslims in the world today, and uses comedy to deliver the message. So his handle is The Muslim Guy on YouTube, so go give him a like and follow him. All right. So,
woo! That's my brother! Woo!
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Peace be with you, everybody. And by the way, thank you for the shout out. I appreciate it. Like, follow, share, subscribe. So, when I was told to speak today, when it comes to Palestine, like, as a Palestinian Canadian who's never been to Palestine, and people ask you, so why do you care? That's not your country. Your country is whether it's Canada or wherever you were born, wherever you lived, but it's not Palestine. But people don't understand until you're in that situation. As a Palestinian Canadian, when we recently heard in the news about the peace deals between Israel and one Arab Muslim majority nation, as you all are well aware, and then there was a huge backlash. Many people weren't happy with that. And then when people who don't know anything about Palestine from the outside looking in, look at it as, well, why don't those Arabs want peace? What is it with these Muslims and these Palestinians who don't want peace? And I can understand what they mean. But here is the problem. When we say peace, peace is a great thing. Everybody wants world peace. Nobody here will say we don't want world peace, right? It's so great to have it on my shirt right here in 2 languages. Peace is great. But let me ask you this. What peace are we talking about? When Israel wants peace with Palestine, and does it through other nations, of course, you cannot have peace when both sides are not equal. When one is the oppressor and one is the oppressed, you cannot have peace. How can you have peace when Palestinians are living occupied, under occupation, in their own lands, oppressed, and living under apartheid? How can you have peace when you have Gaza, the Gaza Strip, being trapped, blocked, and bombed into oblivion?
Shame!
And is labeled as the world's largest open-air prison. How can you have peace when the West Bank is being annexed? How can you have peace when you have COVID centers treating Palestinians during a pandemic, a worldwide pandemic, being destroyed by Israel?
That's beyond shame! That's murder!
How can you have peace when you have illegal settlements being built, kicking out Palestinians from their own lands, their own homes? How can you have peace when Palestinians in their own land do not have access to clean water or a steady supply of electricity? How, I ask you, how, for the world, how do you have peace when Palestinians in their land are being occupied, oppressed, kicked out of their homes, and do not have access to basic amenities or basic human rights? I'm not saying people don't want peace, but before you even talk about peace, let's talk about justice.
Woo!
We hear this a lot. No peace, no justice. Because that's exactly what it is. You cannot have peace if you do not have justice. And while speaking of justice, whenever I talk about Palestine or any other nation, it is important to also remember our Muslim brothers and sisters and our brothers and sisters in humanity suffering all around the world as well, be it in Palestine, Syria, Lebanon, Iraq, Yemen, the Uyghur Muslims in China, the Rohingya in Myanmar. There's a lot of suffering out there. So it's important in every event that we go to make sure we raise awareness about all these issues. I'll end with this. There really isn't much that we individually can do, right? None of us can go tomorrow and put in some sort of bill, and next thing you know, there's world peace everywhere. That's too much to ask of any individual person. However, this does remind me of a hadith, a teaching or saying of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, where he said, if you see something munkar, which is something that's an act of transgression or oppression, then change it with your hands. If you can't change it with your hand, then change it with your tongue. If you cannot change it with your tongue, then change it with your heart. And that is the weakest or lowest form of iman, or faith. My brothers and sisters in humanity, this is why we're here today. We don't have any political influence by ourselves to change anything with our hands. But what we can do is use our tongue, use our mouth, word of mouth, raise awareness, write about it, talk about it, let people know that this is not a Palestinian issue. This is not an Arab issue. This is not just a Muslim issue. This is a humanitarian issue. And we need the world to see this. And with that being said, I'd just like to thank every single one of you for coming out today. It's not a very easy thing to come out and speak about Palestine in a world where one tweet can ruin your career. And Rana Zaman knows this better than anyone. Lost a humanitarian peace prize and lost a political position for a tweet standing up for Palestine.
Shame.
So all I'm going to say is thank you, each and every one of you, for standing up today, using your voice, being the voice of the voiceless, and you are why the Palestinian cause will never die. Thank you.
Thank you, Mohammed. I thought that was a really powerful and motivating speech on why we should not just sit and do nothing about it.
Thank you very much for watching. Please remember to like and share this video, subscribe to my channel, and until next time, I'm that Muslim guy. Assalamu alaikum. Peace be with you.